All right, we got everybody there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, ladies. I'm Judge Vigorito. I'm the magistrate judge this morning. I'm not here to decide whether you're innocent or guilty. I'm just here to explain your charges, your rights, and your options on how to get out of jail. Now, all of you are charged with some type of a criminal offense based on a sworn statement of a law enforcement officer. That officer is swearing to enough facts that would lead a reasonable person to believe that you committed a criminal offense. That does not mean you've been found guilty. You are presumed innocent unless proven guilty, and you'll have an opportunity to talk to an attorney before making any decisions about how to handle your case. If you want a copy of the statement of the police officer that's being used as the basis for your charges, you can get that from your attorney or the clerk's office in the next few days. Now, you're all entitled to certain rights under the Constitution in any criminal case. I'm going to go over your rights, then I'm going to talk about your options on how to get out of jail, and then I'm going to call you each one by one and talk to you each about your individual situation. When I speak with you individually, you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you have, okay? In any criminal case, you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to make any statements about your case. If you give up your right to remain silent, whatever you say can be used against you. You have the right to hire a lawyer to represent you. If you don't have the money to hire your own attorney, you can request a court-appointed attorney. If the police or the prosecutor want to talk to you about the facts of your case, you don't have to talk to them about it if you don't want to. If you choose to talk to them, you can end the interview at any time, and you have the right to have a lawyer present during any discussion with the police or prosecutors about your case. You also have a right to a reasonable amount of time to talk with your lawyer before making any decisions about your case. If you're charged with a felony, you have the right to request an examining trial. That's a preliminary hearing to argue that there's no probable cause, no reasonable basis to charge you with a crime. You could talk with your lawyer about whether that option makes sense in your case. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you need to be aware that a conviction of a criminal offense can affect your immigration status, your right to be in this country, and your ability to become a naturalized citizen in the future. Lastly, if you're not from the United States, you do have the right to request that we contact the embassy of your home country and let them know that you're here. Is there anyone here who's not from the United States and you want us to contact your home embassy? Anybody? No? All right. I know you all want to get out of jail. If you're able to get out of jail, you need to make sure you show up for all your court dates. If you don't, you'll be rearrested. It'll be a lot more difficult for you to get out of jail once you're back here. So if you're able to get out of jail, don't throw away your paperwork. Pay attention to when you need to be at court. Now, there are 4 ways to get out of jail. The first way is to qualify for a personal bond. If you qualify for a personal bond, you'll be released for free based on your promise to come to all your court dates. You'd have a bond amount set, but you wouldn't have to pay the bond amount in order to get out of jail. And as long as you show up for all your court dates, you would never have to pay the bond amount. Now, personal bonds are offered in instances where the case is not too serious and where we have a reasonable certainty that you'll come to court when you're supposed to and that you won't be a danger to others or society if we let you out of jail while your case is pending. So we'll look at the facts of your case, your criminal record, your references, your history of coming to court in the past, and when I call your name, I'll let you know where you stand on the personal bond. If you qualify, you'll be released in the next few hours. If you don't qualify, then you have 3 other ways to get out. Those 3 ways are you can hire a bail bondsman, you can hire a lawyer, or you can have someone come down to the jail with the full amount of the bond in cash. Now, if you go through a bail bondsman or a lawyer, it's between you and them how much they charge and what they can do for you. I can tell you that in Travis County, most bail bond companies tend to charge around 10% of the bond amount as their fee to get you out. So, for example, if your bond amount's $5,000, a bail bondsman will often charge you around $500 or more as their fee to get you out. You can also go through a lawyer. An attorney can come down here and try to convince me or one of the other judges to give you a personal bond that you weren't able to get on your own. A lawyer can advocate on your behalf based on the unique facts of your case and your situation and try to get you a personal bond. If you don't have the money to hire your own attorney, you can request a court-appointed attorney, and your court-appointed lawyer can do the same thing and try to get you out of jail. The last way to get out of jail is to pay the full amount of the bond in cash. If someone comes down to the jail with the full amount of the bond, not 10%, but the full amount in cash, cashier's check, or money order, then you'll be released. And as long as you come to all your court dates at the end of your case, you'll get your money back. Whereas if you go through a bail bondsman or a lawyer, whatever money you pay them, you generally won't get back. That's their fee to get you out. So those are your 4 ways to get out of jail. Qualify for a personal bond, hire a bail bondsman, hire a lawyer, pay the full cash bond. Regardless of which way you use, make sure you come to all your court dates or you will be rearrested. I'm going to call your names. I'm going to tell you what you're charged with in your bond amount. And then I'm going to ask you whether you want a court-appointed attorney or whether you want to hire your own lawyer. If you have any questions at that point, go ahead and ask me. I'll do my best to answer your questions. If you want to know the punishment range of the charge that you're facing, just ask me and I'll tell you. All right, Yadira Martinez Cerrone. Ms. Martinez, you are charged with a Class B misdemeanor driving while intoxicated. Your bond amount's $2,000. However, I'm going to do a personal bond in your case. You're going to be released today for free based on your promise to come to all your court dates. Your first court date will be written on your paperwork. It'll be sometime in the next couple of weeks. It'll be written on your paperwork when you get out of jail. You understand you need to show up for court? All right. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
I'm sorry?
Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own attorney? Court-appointed? Yeah, okay. By the way, on personal bonds, if you do get a personal bond, there's a one-time $20 or $40 personal bond fee that needs to be paid within a week after you're released, and an envelope will be attached to your paperwork to send that in. So just send that in the next week or so, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions? All right, good luck. Olive Marie Rivas.
Yes.
Ms. Rivas, you are charged with a Class A misdemeanor for assault causing bodily injury to a family member. Your bond amount is set at $1,000. Now, Ms. Rivas, we tried to get in touch with the alleged victim in this case and we weren't able to. Can you confirm for me Christopher's phone number?
It's in my phone, my cell phone, which I don't have with me. It's in my contact list. I don't have it memorized.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll just have to go with the one that we have, which we've tried to contact him and we haven't been able to get a hold of him. The reason why I bring that up is because on domestic violence cases, in most instances, in order to get a personal bond, my staff will contact the alleged victim just to make sure there's no danger to anybody's safety if you were released from jail. In this case, how long have you and Christopher been living together?
3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
Right. Ms. Rivas, I'm going to approve a personal bond in your case based on the particular allegations in this case. You're not going to be prohibited from going back to the house, but Ms. Rivas, if you, whenever you're around Christopher, whatever differences you have, you need to resolve it in a non-physical fashion. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Under no conditions do you guys get into any further physical altercations. Make sure you show up for all of your court dates. Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
Court appointed.
Do you have any questions?
When I see the attorney today.
No, you're going to be released today, and because you'll be won't be in jail any longer, the court-appointed attorney is not going to reach out to you in the next couple of days. They would if you were still in jail. What will happen is that a court-appointed attorney will be assigned to your case pretty soon. If you do not hear from them by your first court date in the next week or two, then when you get to your first court date, they'll give you the contact information for your court-appointed lawyer, okay?
So I will have a lawyer at the court date.
You'll have a court date and you'll get a lawyer assigned to you I've looked at your finances and it looks like that you would likely qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. And so that should be assigned, today's Friday, that court-appointed lawyer will likely be assigned by end of the day, Monday. And if they don't reach out to you by your court date, then when you come to court, they'll give you contact information for that court-appointed attorney, okay?
Okay.
All right. You have any other questions?
No,
All right, I don't have to worry about any further, I don't have to worry about the police being called back to this place, do I?
no, absolutely not.
All right. I don't want you in jail unnecessarily, even under this situation. I know you've never been arrested before, have you?
No, sir.
First time ever in trouble. So just make sure that you guys resolve your differences in a non-physical fashion, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Genesis Ortiz.
Yes, sir.
Miss Ortiz, you're charged with a third degree, or is it Ortiz?
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Miss Ortiz, you're charged with a third degree felony, fraudulent use or possession of identifying information, basically being in possession of other people's credit cards and debit cards. Your bond amount on that is $10,000. You also have a charge of a state jail felony, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle with a bond amount of $8,000. Total amount of your bond is $18,000. You're not going to get a personal bond. It appears that you have some pending felony cases out of Encina, Texas, for smuggling of persons and possession of controlled substance. Is that you're still going to court on those?
I start next month. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're going to need to post bond through a bail bondsman or a lawyer, or come up with the cash. Now, a bail bondsman will often charge around 10%. In this case, it'd be around $1,800. You'll have an opportunity to use the phone in a little bit to get a hold of friends or family and try to bond out. Do you want a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
You go with court appointed right now.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, one other thing. Actually, no, that's it. All right, good luck. Calvina Pettis.
You just hang out for, are you gonna be in here, or is it,
Okay.
you just hang out for a second?
Yes, sir.
You all good with her?
All right.
Okay.
Ms. Pettis, you have 3 charges. You have a second-degree felony, possession of controlled substance, and then you have 2 first-degree felonies for aggravated robbery. Now, just wanted to clarify what your financial situation is. I show that you're unemployed and not making any money right now. Is that correct?
Yes, I lost my job due to all these allegations that I wasn't even involved in, and now it's causing me to lose
Talk to your lawyer about the facts of the case. I don't mean to cut you off, but I can't discuss the facts of the case with you without your lawyer present. This is a recorded proceeding. Whatever you say can be used against you. I want you to just discuss that with your lawyer. You have the right to fight your case, and you can discuss that with your lawyer. But do you have friends or family that can help bond you out, Ms. Pettis?
I don't even, to be honest with you, I got somebody that's willing to help out, but it's really a hit or miss. The only thing I'm concerned about is just making sure my kids are okay.
Well, who are your kids with right now? Do you know?
They're supposed to be with my brother, but I can't get in contact with him because they took my phone and I don't have no way to get in contact with him. My sister couldn't give me his number yesterday, and it's just too much. It's just, I don't know.
So the person that's going to help you, about how much money are they working with?
I don't know, sir. I wasn't expecting all this because I didn't have no involvement in none of it. So I wasn't ready and I was not prepared for any of this.
Okay. All right. Well, and where does your family live, by the way?
Huh?
Where does your family live? In Austin?
My sister just moved to Manor a few months ago. My brother lives in Austin Colony with our cousin. He just got back down here. They all stay in Austin Colony. Everybody stays in Austin, yes.
Right. Ms. Pettis, your bond amount on the 2 aggravated robberies can be set at $25,000 each. Total amount of your bonds, $50,000 on those. On the possession of controlled substance, it's dealing with allegedly a larger amount of heroin. Your bond amount, that's going to be set at $15,000. Total amount of your bond, $65,000. Now, a bail bond company, if they're willing to do it for 10%, would be around
But I'm not-
around
PR bond.
6,500. Yeah, the law does not allow a personal bond on an aggravated robbery charge. And based on the particular allegations here, I would not be inclined to do it even if it did, even if it was allowed. What I'm gonna do, because of your financial situation, your bonds were originally recommended at $35,000 each on the aggravated robberies. I'm actually gonna lower it to $20,000 each on the aggravated robberies and it's $15,000 on the drug case. Total amount of your bonds is gonna be $55,000. Bail bondsmen, if they're willing to do it for 10%, be around $5,000 or $6,000. You'll have an opportunity to use the phone a little bit to try to get hold of your friends or family and try to arrange to bond out. If you do postpone and get out of jail, Ms. Pettis, you are required to report to a supervision officer while your case is pending. So if you do get out of jail, you're gonna have a piece of paper with the name and number of a person that you need to contact within 24 hours of your release from jail. And you need to make that call, set up an appointment with them and report into them whenever they require. Sometimes they may have you just call in. Other times they may have you come in person. You need to follow their directions. Ms. Pettis, do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer? Court-appointed attorney? Is that right? Is that you want a court-appointed attorney? Okay. Sorry to give you this information. I've read the police reports and all that, and based upon what I've read, I do agree that there's probable cause to charge you, but you certainly do have the right to fight your case. And talk to your lawyer about your side of the story. He can advise you on how to proceed. Your
Man,
court-
I don't do shit with this shit. I'm at home watching my kids and my man, this is bullshit.
Talk to your lawyer about it. Your lawyer can get a copy of the police report, which I've reviewed, and go through the particular evidence.
They falsified so much information when they did that. They lied the whole round and nobody wants to even ask me what happened.
Okay, talk to your lawyer about it, okay? You certainly have the right to fight your case, and your lawyer can come talk to me about it and I'll listen. In terms of, or address it with the district judge in terms of trying to get modifications of the bond amounts and all that. He can ask for a bond reduction hearing in front of the district judge. So talk to your lawyer about that, okay? One last thing, you have 4 traffic tickets from the last few years that you've never shown up for court for, Ms. Pettis. Now, I'm not gonna hold you in jail on those. They're only punishable by a fine and not jail time. So when you do get out of jail, whenever that is, you're gonna have additional piece of paper telling you when and where to go for the traffic court, which is over on the east side on Burleson Road. You don't need a lawyer for that. You can represent yourself if you want, but you do need to show up for those court dates. Those are totally separate court dates from these felonies. Do you have any questions, Ms. Pettis? Wow. All right, good luck.
Say it again, bro. Where you gonna use the phone? I don't know.